Sisters and brothers. So, today is the 6th of October 2021. It's now 7 minutes past 3 local time. And I thought I'd make this video here to reinforce certain things. Again, euro dollar went for the kick. And you can see, if it does a pullback to the upper medium term stop, the yellow line, which is around 1.15595 or something, this could potentially be again a short entry, because longies keep on buying the market, as you can see. Actually, today I posted on the forum this picture, and I said Forex explained in one picture. And I think that explains some complex things in a very simple manner once more. Yeah, as you can see, like the chart from today. Over weeks, since mid-September, we had longies pouring into the market, buying euro dollar again and again and again, thinking they can trade a reversal up and up and up and up. In response, the smart money algorithms detected that, pushed euro dollar down against them, going for the stops one by one. Okay? So we traded that, as you know, live. We made massive pips over the last weeks. It was fantastic, a fantastic phase, because when this happens, we're going to get easy money. As I said, also, we're entering now a bit more of a complex phase, because the market is out of the range, OR as I call it. Yeah, because the down money tolerance now is higher, it can snap. For example, if some shorties come in, even if these are not many, if people sell so expensively into the market at those price levels, they may just do a move up against them. We have seen it many times before. Right now, as you can see, there's still appetite from the down money buyers to again buy euro dollar. So if they take the upper stop and may go another short down, maybe not all the way to the low, but at least for some pips. Right now it looks like this is a scenario that can happen in the next 10 hours. Okay, please never ever forget the picture I've posted, this chart here. This shows you again how this works, what happens when there is some kind of squeeze momentum, when the down money goes really on one side of the market and keeps on buying over days and weeks. Okay, with this leading information, we know in advance, well in advance, that the market will go down, and that's why we sold. Okay, it's not rocket science when there's such a big bias. If the bias is high and we have a clear picture of what will happen next, like in this scenario, okay, you can trade, and you can trade with confidence. And I go aggressive on those kind of trades, as you know. Be selective. If everything aligns, if the planets align like here, you can go for it. Now we are in a different market phase. The best parts of the steak have been eaten, so to speak. So things are a bit more tricky. So do not apply the same aggressiveness to the market. Be adaptive. This is a big key in short-term Forex. You need to be adaptive. Most people do have problems with this, okay? They are either too aggressive or too conservative. They can't adjust from, aggressive mode to conservative mode. Most people either overtrade or they don't have the confidence to pull the trigger. That's why trading is so difficult for most people, because you need to have a balance in that. That kind of balance is required regarding many things. But maybe I should also talk a bit about myself personally. When I started out, I was one of the guys who was too trigger happy. I was over trading a lot at the very beginning. So I came from that corner, and I had to balance myself to a point where I had the patience to also, keep all and not even trade a lot on certain days. It is not an option, it's necessary. If you want to become successful in this game, you need to do that, okay? So I had to find more balance by increasing my patience, by increasing my waiting time. I know that other people come from the other side of the spectrum. They analyze charts all day, but they never pull the trigger. That also exists. That's the other extreme. For them, I have to say, look, in such a scenario here, you can just shoot, okay? There's no need to wait too much, neither, if things align. It's not super difficult to find a balance which is acceptable. And the better the balance is, the more successful you will be in this game. As simple as that. Now, I have to say that these kind of market phases like this one here, they don't appear constantly, okay? They were now like for a few weeks, and now, you know, we entered a new phase. If shorties come in, there will be counter moves. So you can already see that things will be more complicated. So adjust your style. And euro dollar affects all the other markets. Okay. So that's quite a general statement. So yeah, I mean, it feels good if you have control in this game, because you don't need to guess. You just need to trade what you see, not what you think. And you just need some additional general rules on top of that. That's it, you know? You need to have the patience to wait. You need to have proper risk management, okay? So if you trade and you use stops, make sure your stops are placed in at a price which makes sense. For example, if people go short, they place a stop some pips above this longy nest, because the price will respect that price level. The smart money algos will not just go up and let those guys win unless they reach their main goal already and there's a switch and so on, you see? So as long as those kind of accumulations of buyers are not significantly within the dumb money tolerance, you can use them to place your stop. If you sell it above here. Okay? And for shorties, it works the other way around. If you don't use stops, you know, then, okay, you can go sometimes aggressive like we did now. But also understand that now you need to take your foot from the pedal again, okay? You can't just, you know, keep on trading big. Because, you know, now the euro dollar came down. We are at this lower part of the trend, even on the longer time frames. That's a bit of common sense as well, okay? You don't just keep on happily going for it. So now I decrease my leverage. If I go for this short, I will not use as much leverage as I did in the last 2-3 weeks, yeah? Common sense in a way, if you ask me. So risk management next to the patience is very important. So look, there are not that many components of manual forex trading if you have tools like this here. Okay, you need general discipline. Okay, you need proper risk management. You need patience, and you need to control your emotions. That all on top of the analysis, which I demonstrate here for you since a long time. Okay, you need to have something that works, which is a market causality. It's proven, it works, it's leading. Okay, you gate this, by the way, with some simple indicators which are price-based. Forget about that. These are not price-based indicators, okay? This is the actual market, okay? I need to reinforce that. So that tool works. You know, it's not a system which just works for 2 weeks and then dies. It always works. So all you need to do is to concentrate on the rest, yeah, which is not rocket science. Which means if you use stops, do not move away your stops. Place them at reasonable levels. And still don't risk too much per trade. Okay? If you don't use stops, use less leverage. Use several entries. Okay? If there's a dumb money switch, do not wait, okay, until the thing goes all the way to the other direction. But switch, either hedge or close a position. Okay? Don't get caught in the dumb money switch, because then you gave back too many profits you made. Okay? These simple rules get you a very long way, and I'm very proud that I'm able to offer you those cool tools here, which are above hedge fund level and for such a low price as well, just to make some marketing, okay? I wish this would have existed when I started out. I would have subscribed, I would have studied it, and I would have traded it and be very happy without any, you know, like ups and downs and, you know, periods where you needed to figure out things, okay? So yeah, I mean, I've shown you many other things over the last month. I've shown you how markets are correlated, considering all these stance position hunts. I have shown you live stop runs, how they use or rather abuse the news items in order to implement their plan, fake momentum and all this. I have also shown quite some stop hunts live, position hunts live, made predictions live and all that. So, okay, that's very rare that you find this in Forex, that somebody's able to do that and actually does it like I do. And I have other things planned. Okay, I have a big video where I want to show you a bit more about the bots I develop, for example, and how you can also develop bots or improve them. And some other topics and more general topics I want. But for those, I want to make a proper PowerPoint, make some nice slides and go through that in a more structured manner. You know what I mean? Like I want to prepare that a bit. I also want to continue the podcast as well. I have a lot of fun doing that. It's always interesting. Okay, so don't worry, it's all on my to-do list, and I'll try to finish as much as I can before year end as well. Please, if you have questions and so on about all these things, you can send an email to support@sme-fx.com. I will get that eventually. Okay, you can do that, or you can post whatever you like, and I can do a Q&A and answer some questions which some of you may have. And of course, I encourage everyone to buy the video course, okay, and to watch all those exclusive videos there, because there you get also to know the meta levels, which I didn't publicly explain, which are all contained in the video course. So that's for the ones who studied the more fundamental things, such as position hunts and stop hunts, and they want to get to the next level and use the tools even more efficiently, okay? Yeah, to summarize, that's pretty much it. I mean, and, I know it's a bit repetitive because, if you now look at the live trades we do and you compare them from 3-4 years ago, it's basically the same things, It's the same thing. So it's repetitive. It's either against the positions, or it's a down money switch post stop hunt scenario, or it's a combination of a stop hunt and a position hunt. I mean, it's a handful of setups, and I've made a video about this, as you know, which reappears all the time, and where we can trade with confidence and get a very high win-loss ratio. So the same applies to the market analysis, where it's going to show also the higher time frames and how it unfolds. And that's exactly what we could also already see 2 years ago. So that's not really new information. Okay, and you have so much content now you can also use and study and to your advantage to become better in this game. So please use the tools I provide and enjoy the game. Be a loser. Don't be on the down money side. Don't just trade blindly. You will get caught eventually on the and they will go for you. They will go for your stops. Okay, so as simple as that. Sometimes the market phase is as a lower bias, so there are more shorties and longies mixed. There are stops on both sides. Your fundamentals are not very biased neither. You see, like in those situations, it's more tricky. Okay, but when the bias is strong, you can go for it, and that's hopefully what you learned of the last market phase we documented here on this channel. Okay, you can't ignore that. It should not be able to predict moves and to trade them live, because the only way this is made possible is because markets are manipulated, and we have those tools, can protect ourselves and predict what will happen. Yes, it requires you to put in some work. But look, I mean, trading is a very competitive and hardcore game. You're competing with brightest minds on the planet, algorithms. So it's ridiculous if you can think you can put two useless in chart and trade profitably, or that doesn't work. Okay, you need to put in some work. I mean, it's necessary. It's common sense, and it's all made for you here. So you can just study that. You don't need to start from zero, but you need to study. Okay, that's obvious. If you want to drive a race car, okay, you need to first drive a normal car and really have some experience. Even if you understand theory how it works, to actually do it is always another level. Once you have enough experience and you have a feel and you internalized how to use everything, okay, like the gear, the brakes, the wheel, how you awareness, the engine for the car, then you can move to the next one, okay, into the race car, which is faster, and things will get more and more automated in your brain as well, okay. At the beginning, like everything, you think a lot what you have to do. At some point then, you don't need to do that anymore. You don't need to consciously think so much, because your brain has already remembered all those scenarios before, okay, and it's in your subconscious. So it takes you much shorter to analyze and make decisions. That's a cool part about it. And that applies to everything. If you want to become a professional tennis player, okay, and you play tennis and you improve your serves or whatever, okay, at the beginning you may think and analyze a lot. At some point you just have it in your intuition. And this game here is not much different from these things, okay? Of course, when we analyze, it's always a cognitive process, first and foremost. We look at what's the reality in front of us. We don't make assumption or something. We look where do positions accumulate, where do orders accumulate. Yes, what is the next move that makes sense? And that process is not super complex. It's in fact quite repetitive. And so that's why when you read Market with Us and you listen to the best traders in the world talking about the game, they say it's quite boring. Okay, it's not in that sense exciting because they're just repeating a process which actually works. Now, in order to get into a position where you have something that works over a large sample, without tools like this here, you will not really get there. You understand? I mean, can you imagine with that knowledge you have now, how vulnerable and inefficient a simple reversal system or simple trend system or simple pullback system is? It doesn't stand a chance because sometimes it may catch a move, but then quickly the dumb money goes on the others on the same side, and the whole thing gets blown. And a trading system is very sensitive. I will elaborate on that when I talk about the automated systems and so on. It's a very, very sensitive animal because once you change one of the factors slightly, okay, it can completely change the system. It's very, very sensitive, okay, and that's something you have to consider. But if you trade in a manual manner and you concentrate on those easy setups, okay, your approach is not sensitive. Even if you are early or if you trade or you trade late even. You see in some of the live trades, you can see that I was too early, I was too late and so on. It doesn't really matter. The price may go against you for, some time, often a day or two, okay, or a few hours, or if you have a good position plan, you may actually get another entry at a better price, yeah? And it's no big problem. Rarely are you perfectly placed in terms of timing. It happens also, as you know. Sometimes okay, they will just take the stop very soon. We also have many trades like that. But as long as you understood the market, it doesn't really matter, you see? I mean, even swaps are not charged within a day. So, but of course, if you have a risk management policy where you use fixed stops, yes, you need to be even better in terms of timing, for example, yeah? Otherwise, you get stopped out and the setup is still valid. Of course, you can place a second trade. People do different things. Some people like to just place a second trade with a separate risk to reward, which is fine. Other people like to define a maximum lot size and then work their way into the trade. But the market causality is generally speaking quite forgiving. Even if your timing is off a bit, the trade will come most of the time. Remember, the one big exception is, for example, the dumb money switch. If the dumb money just goes aggressively on the other side, and out of 10 trades it happens 1 or 2 times, don't just sit there and watch. Either close or hedge, okay, or even switch, okay. I have done that also before, albeit rarely. For example, in dollar yen, where the shorties just came in again and again and again, if you were caught on the wrong side, well, them, and then later on, let me show you the chart, you can still react, okay? Like here. You see, when so many shorties, so many dumb money sellers come into the market, even if you are placed on the wrong side, you can actually look. Let's say you traded here and you didn't take profit and you get caught in the dumb money switch. Look, you can close or hedge and then boom, go all the way to the other direction and trade against the big squeeze. Yes. Here are the easy pips. Okay, I've done that also before. Again, trade what you see, not what you think. And also, of course, some of you may say, well, we have seen you quite often also predicting the dumb money's next moves. Yes, that's true. I've done that. But that's also a matter of experience. You don't need to do that. Sometimes, I say, oh, the dumb money will sell soon or they will buy again. Well, that's experience. That's tape reading. Because I've seen that thousands of times, I have a feeling for what happens. However, I don't trade on the basis of that, as you know. Okay, I'm not trying to pre-guess the dumb money. Why should I? It's not necessary. Let the others first put their money on the table, and then, once there's money on the line, do your own moves, so to speak. to break it down in a bit simplistic manner. Okay, so yeah, at the moment I'm quite active on the channel. I'm doing almost daily videos, as you know, sometimes several videos per day, all kinds of different stuff. I have some other videos on my list, and subject to my availability, I will try to produce them also. But remember, you have a lot of content there already, which you can use to your advantage. If you are serious about Forex and you want to get into this amazing game, study this year. This is the truth. This is how this works. You don't find this anywhere else. Stay away from scammers. Stay away from, useless tools which don't help you in any way. Stay away from commercial EAs. Stay away from commercial indicators. Stay away from signal services and all this stuff. Okay, I mean, this year is how it works. Learn it, to use this, and trade in a responsible manner. That's it. Bye.